Alright, picking up where we left off, we're going to start talking about using the replacement color tool. First thing you want to do is go over into your toolbar and find the paintbrush. It looks like this. And then if you click and hold, underneath it, there's something called Color Replacement Tool. And we're going to select that. And you'll notice that the bar up here changes, okay? And you can leave these tolerances. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to use whatever color is in the foreground down here where I'm circling with my cursor, and it will replace whatever color you are hovering over or clicking on with that color. And it won't just do a flat color, it will do it within a range of values and tones so that it actually looks like the original picture, but just instead of maybe this girl having a red hat, she would have a green hat. Let's go ahead and look at how we can do this. Alright, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the zoom tool really quick, and I'm going to just blow up. And let's just say that we are in fact going to use the red hat as our guidance, and I'm going to take the hand and move it over so that we can kind of see a little bit better in case we decide to get any kind of dialog boxes that pop up over here. First of all, if we just go and choose this color tool, and then if you want to look and do a different color than me, I'm choosing this green. You can feel free to use whatever color you want. I'm going to stick with the green. As we have this brush tool selected, you can see up here where we can change the brush size. And right now we have it at about a 10 pixel brush size, and we have the hardness turned up pretty high. We can turn the hardness down also. You don't have to leave it up. And you can test it and see if that's a good enough size for you. And because we turn the hardness down, what's happening is it'll find the pixels on the edges and it'll sort of get a blurry edge. So if you look again up here, we have hardness now at about 62. You could turn it down even lower if you wanted, somewhere around 50 or 40 or something, and experiment with different ones. Anyway, and you can make your brush size larger or smaller depending. And these things down here where it's got pen pressure and so forth, you can change those based on what you want to do with your mouse. But anyway, let's go ahead and we're just going to fill in, and you can see what it's doing. And it's basically finding kind of the edges of where the color is. It's pretty smart. It's able to see what the tolerance of color is around the surrounding pixels. And so it's not too hard to use this tool. And if you have any trouble getting some of the pixels, then like this one, you might have a harder time and you might get into some of the hairline. So if I just undo that by pressing Command Z or Control Z, because some of the hair color in here was a little bit red, it actually selected some of those pixels. So I could actually blow this up a little bit more to get really good close detail if I wanted to be that precise in that particular. And I can go back to my Replace Color tool, and I can turn it down so that the size is even smaller. Okay, and then I might have a better experience then selecting the actual pixels that I want instead of getting any of the red tones that are inside of the hair. Okay, and that's a really simple way and to get the Replace Color tool to work. Okay, and then if I go ahead and zoom back out, I'm going to type in the value to 100%, and you can see that that looks pretty darn good. It looks just like she was wearing a green hat all along instead of a red. And you'll notice that it didn't just put a flat color down, it actually kept all of the definition with the shades and the highlights and so forth. So it's a really terrific tool to use. If you've ever used an older version of Photoshop, what you used to have to do is go up to Image and then go to Adjustments and then go down to Replace Color. And even older versions, if you're using a much older version, then it was in a different place altogether. But you would go to Replace Color and you would have to do something where you were making selections and choosing these buttons and so forth. So if you are using an older version and that tool is unavailable, then this is where you would do it instead. And you would probably need to refer to a different book for all the details, but basically this is your initial selection tool. You select a range of image values, and then to add more values, then they'll show up right here. You select the plus symbol. If you want to subtract values, you use the minus symbol, and then you just choose your color that you want to replace it with, and you can adjust the saturation and hue and so forth down here. And that's the way that you would do it in older versions. So that's a really simple way to spot change the color, and we're going to move on in our next demo to discuss some other things.